Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're basically opening the textbook for the first session of Marketing 101. We're going to look at how marketing grew from, simple handshake trades into this massive, essential part of our world. So, yeah, let's just dive right in. All right, so here's the plan for today. Think of it as our syllabus. First, we'll talk about why marketing is so darn important. Then, what a marketer's job actually looks like. After that, we'll go way back to its origins, and finally, bring it all home by looking at how it's becoming a real science. To really get why marketing has so much power, we don't need some dry academic definition. Nope. All we need to do is look at the battle for the music in our pockets, a story a lot of us actually remember happening. So, on one side, you've got the Sony Walkman. It came out in '79, and for more than 20 years, if you said portable music, you meant a Walkman. It was a giant, a totally dominant brand. And then, Apple shows up to the party over 2 decades late. So the question is, how on earth did the iPod, this little latecomer, not just compete, but completely take over the whole market? Well, this is where the magic really happened. See, Apple didn't talk about megabytes or bit rates or any of that techie stuff. They sold a simple, powerful benefit. They got that people just wanted their music library with them, nice and easy. And that one little phrase, 1,000 songs in your pocket, just nailed that feeling perfectly. And here's the big takeaway. The iPod was a great product, for sure. But its success wasn't just about the tech. It was about the story they told, the simple branding, the feeling. And that was all driven by truly superb marketing. It proves that even the best product in the world can just fade away if it doesn't connect with people. Okay, so the iPod story is a perfect example of what great marketing can do. But how do you actually get there? What does a marketer's day-to-day really look like? What are the decisions that lead to that kind of a home run? Being a marketer means you're constantly juggling these massive, high-stakes questions. The decisions you make, what to sell, who to sell it to, what it should cost, how to tell people about it, these can literally make or break a company. It's so much more than just making clever ads. It's about architecting the entire relationship between a company and its customers. And making those kinds of big calls is how you build a real career. Marketing isn't just one job title. It's this huge field with a pretty clear ladder to climb. You might start out as an assistant or a sales rep, but with smart decisions, that path can take you all the way up to the C-suite, to a chief marketing officer who helps steer the entire ship. But here is the thing. This whole profession, with its CMOs and fancy strategies, it's not new, not at all. In fact, its basic ideas are about as old as human civilization itself. I mean, just think about it. Go back 10,000 years. Humans figure out farming, and suddenly they have a surplus. They have more stuff than they immediately need. And what do you do with surplus? You trade it. That simple act of trading is the tiny seed that grew into all of modern marketing. It let people specialize, and it evolved and evolved through the Industrial Revolution right up to the ridiculously complex global system we have today. And the system we've built? Well, it's about way more than just making a profit. This quote from way back in 1943 just hits so hard. Trade, which is really the heart of marketing, it forces us to connect, to communicate, to depend on each other. So it's not just a way to build a wealthier world, it's actually one of our best tools for building a more peaceful one. Okay, so that brings us to our final section and really the latest chapter in this story. For most of its long history, marketing has been treated like an art, but right now we're watching it transform from something based on gut feelings into a discipline that's actually grounded in science. The legendary management thinker Peter Drucker saw this coming decades ago. He argued that marketing isn't just some support department that designs ads. He said it's one of the 2 core functions of any business, right up there with actually creating the product, because it's marketing's job to understand and ultimately create the customer. For the longest time, a lot of marketing was based on wolf folklore, on hunches, on what the boss thought was a good idea, on myths that just got passed down. But that's all changing. We are moving, and moving fast, toward an evidence-based world where we study how people actually buy things and look for patterns that can help us make much, much smarter decisions. Honestly, the best way to think about it is to look at medicine. For centuries, doctors operated on superstitions and theories that frankly didn't work and sometimes made things worse. Then, the scientific method came along and gave us a real, working understanding of the human body. That exact same transformation is happening to marketing right now. And just to be super clear, marketing science isn't about replacing people with robots or formulas. It's about building a reliable foundation of knowledge.
When we understand the predictable ways people behave as buyers, we can make better, more efficient, and let's be honest, more respectful marketing decisions.
So that brings our first class to a close and leaves us with one final big question to chew on. As marketing gets more and more data-driven, more scientific, what happens to pure creativity? Is that brilliant human spark, the kind that dreams up a line like, 1,000 songs in your pocket? Is that still the most important skill a marketer can have? Something to think about.